Howdy, all you delicious people. I'm here today to talk about SummerSlam Night 1, or reasonably, a lot of people got booked, and slams apparently happened at some points. You have to wait for them, but they happen. So, I go on and I look at this card, and I'm like, did WWE 2K25 book it, or did an actual person book it? Because you really have to convince me a human being booked this card. Also, we have the glaringly obvious, like, Jelly Roll is on this card. And, like, I say that and I laugh, but, like, I am to go on and say that this celebrity stuff is just kind of getting out of hand. But, like, outside of that, I have to say this. I'm not going to go on and critique any of Jelly Roll's performance besides saying that there is one part within this match where they are to go on and focus a lot more on the outside of the ring than the inside of the ring. And I'm like, dude, I want to see the wrestlers inside the effing ring. That's what I'm to go on and want to watch. Like, I don't want to see anybody outside of the ring just walking along. No. I want to go on and focus so much more on the wrestling and see more of that, not less of it. Especially when we go on and we have this thing just smothered in advertisement. I'm like, oh, okay, well, like, that's how we only have 6 matches on this card. And so, with that said, like, I was to just go on and be like, all right, Jelly Roll, he's freaking, yeah, like, freaking doing any kind of moves. Like, I don't care what he does. Like, if he is to go on and do a choke slam, who cares? Like, he's doing wrestling moves. Yeah, like, I wasn't thinking that he was gonna go on and do, like, cross bodies and all kinds of other flashy things and whatever. Like, I was just thinking, like, hey, good for him. He's freaking in the ring. Huzzah! Like, I don't know how much training he has had and whatever. So, like, good for him. Also, freaking Jelly Roll, he looks freaking amazing. That guy, great. Hopefully he wants to go on and somehow be involved in more WWE things, maybe at some point. I don't know. I'm to not be any kind of fan of just what they would call celebrity occurrences within the W, because I want to keep it into the wrestling, but like but we just kind of have to keep doing this stuff anyways, forcibly. Like, at least I can go on and just be fine with Jelly Roll getting involved, even though he had just, like, his entrance theme is just kind of like, okay, whatever that is. But yeah, and also, like, the thing that he goes on and does in the intro is, like, pledging allegiance to Randy Orton. I'm like, okay, whatever that is. Like, just, like, I should have stopped at some point. I'm kind of putting my foot in my mouth. But so, let's talk about the rest of the card. So, we start out this PLE with 2 tag matches back to back. Sure! Perfect way to just open up a PLE. Perfect! Oh my god, that was amazing. Just, like, not dumb at all when you have, 6 different matches you can go with to just try to make a more diverse No. Let's have back-to-back 2 tag matches. Heaven forbid, right? F that noise. So, we're getting another Karrion Kross match in a PLE. Great. I guess it really doesn't matter that it's a rematch or anything, but great. Just, we even have Cross at one point who's asking Sammy, it's like, why are we even having this match? And I'm like, great. Like, I have the same sentiment. Great. Why is this match occurring at this point now? Great. It feels like this thing is dead. Great. Sammy, I think, is to turn to Cross and say that, like, this is done, and I hope it is. But then these people won't be on a PLE. This sucks. Also, let's go on and say that I love the fact that the people that are doing the WWE action figures, Sam Robertson, he's getting a WWE figure. Good for him. I'm doing a lot of clapping right now. Good for him. Good for Sam Roberts. I am to go on and watch his podcast, and I really enjoy it. Like, it's really a good watch. If you guys haven't gone on to watch that stuff, watch that thing. It's really enjoyable. I like it. I end up going on and I've seen him like not only kind of talk about like the events that has kind of been leading up lately, but then also I've seen like his like Chris Van Vliet interviews and other kind of just things where like they start out every interview where Sam's like, yeah, I just really want to go on and I just really want to just stay at home and do these interviews just because it's easier and not to have to travel and like, yeah, like it's okay, like, yeah, like good for him, like so yeah, so like that's to go on and just be like a fun watch. I wish I can go on and have any real details that are to really go on and be more than that, but anyways, but so let's go on and so let's go around the card and just do some cliff noting things. So we open this PLE with the Roman, Jay, and Breaker and Reed match. I immediately look at this match and I groan. Just because I'm like, you know what? I want both of these teams to be dominant, but not against one another. Because if you put them against one another, they can't both be dominant. And in all honesty, like, we haven't seen Roman in a while for a PLE, so really we're just going on and just seeing a Roman who is to just not really be even there in this matchup. Because in all honesty, he's freaking opening this PLE, which makes no sense to me, as well as also seeing Jey Uso open this thing, as well as also seeing Breaker, like, a lot of this stuff just doesn't make sense to me. I would have liked to have seen this matchup later down the card, but whatever. It seems that Jay is to be in the match way more than Roman was, so it's just like, okay, if you want to go on and see a matchup just for pure Roman, then you don't really see that at whatsoever. It seems that quite a bit of these tag matches kind of just feel very just one-sided, but whatever, I guess. Then we immediately go into the Perez, Rodriguez, Charlotte, and Bliss match, which we end up going back to the old, like, well, will this team coexist? Huh? Whatever. It's stupid. But so, within this matchup, I was actually really, like, Perez got some moves going on. Like, I saw that, like, that moonsault she did from the second rope, and she did that drop there. I'm like, good. Like, she's kind of really showing some flair here, and I'm like, all right, there's some moves here that I'm starting to see, like, this stuff that both Perez and Rodriguez is kind of doing together. Like, it looks like this is a pretty good team, regardless of where they are really actually going to go with these two. Whatever. Both Liz and Charlotte, they're just kind of just Liz and Charlotte, Bliss and Charlotte, they're to just go on and just be a thing. There is not really them going on and having much of a tag team kind of flow to them. They're just in a match together, and yeah. So, and also, like, I watched the interview of Charlotte talking about her knee and like how she's still kind of worried about it, but like I hope she ends up going on and not re-injuring her knee, or she ends up going on and being fine. Like I enjoy seeing Charlotte in the matches now. Like I enjoy her presence. Because of course there was a time where I'm just like, man, we're seeing way too much of Charlotte, and I think what we've kind of gone on to see with Charlotte, like I think it's good. I think it's entertaining. I think it's let's watch Ellie. So the Randy Orton Jelly Roll, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul match. I think the most thing that I could probably go on and say about this matchup is that I am to go on and always just find Logan Paul's entrance music just entertaining. I'm like, yeah, home. I get into it. I don't know why. It's gotten me. Like it's just a song that now cannot get out of my head bizarrely. As well as also just being like, God dang, Logan Paul is so good. I am to go on and realize that like Randy Orton is in this match, and like he's there, but like I sadly don't care. It's either all about either Jelly Roll existing in this matchup, being happy that at least Drew is on the card, even though really I'm like, what does he really do in this? What does he really do? I'm like, God dang it, man! Like you had Drew with like Punk, and man, was that good telly. But then, like, what do you do with that? Freaking nothing. Freaking nothing. Good God, man. Or woman. Jeepers creepers, Batman. Just a guy that's just wasting away, I feel. And so Sammy and Cross goes into seemingly having Sammy with a weapon in hand, and I'm like, oh, that's how it's gonna make this match go from a 2 to a 2.5. It's like it's a severely just flat match, and like at least there wasn't rest holds like the main event, but still, like I have to just be like, this match is just a fart in the wind. Like if my fart was silent, no one is gonna know about it or hear about it or what. Yeah, like, and that's sad because like these two people should be have something to do, and yeah, I just wrestling one another just doesn't quite make sense to me anymore. Uh, we then go on to have Tiffany versus Jade here, and with Tiffany, I'm like, is she wearing wrestling gear or did she just come in her underwear? Like, I can't tell the difference. But it also is kind of nice that Jade is going on and wearing her Jamaican uh roots outfit, but like they kind of ruined it where Jade is going on and talking to those people, giving them tickets and what have you, and I'm just like, you ruined her gear, motherfuckers. You couldn't have had that spot going on later after their match happens? What kind of garbage is that? But yeah, like, in all honesty, the match between the two of them just felt like a train wreck. Like, this match was just so off. Uh, like, I don't want to exactly say sloppy, but yeah, it just like, what was this? Like, I was just not really entertained by this. It was just like, okay, it feels like people are going on and trying to do it's like the CPUs in WWE 2K25, and like and both of them are going up on the top uh part of the aprons at the same time, and then realizing, oh, like, we can't hit anybody, and so they drop down to the match, and then they're like, oh, okay, let's like, it just feels like such a wild disconnect between the two of them, and it just feels like a lot of that going on. And like, we have moves and like, ooh wow moves, but like this match was just so disjointed and so janky that I'm like, this is a thing. This is a thing. So uh we then go on to the main event, which is Punk versus Gunther here. And it honestly feels that this is kind of like a David versus Goliath matchup, where like Punk is to be kind of like the smaller guy going up against Goliath. So Punk is like trying to chop down this tree of Gunther, and I'm to just go on and be like, okay, like, Punk has fought bigger guys than Gunther in the past, but that's just to be like what this feels like bizarrely. So I'm to go on and to have tried to enjoy this event, this main event, as much as I physically could. And like, I think both Punk and both Gunther looked really good in this matchup, but there was just so many rest holds within this main event that I was just to be like, yeah, like, this just is to go on and be our main event after all of the other things that have happened in this card. Like, to just go on and see this, I'm like, that's it. Like, but the way of which that this all is to end is to just be like, oh, okay, well, that is to just be the clickbaiting thing to get people into night one if people weren't exactly all that interested. So there's just a clickbaiting mechanism by the end of this whole thing that is to just be like, oh, well, yeah, I should have tuned in if I didn't watch it because I wanted to watch night one and night two together. But yeah, but even a Punk match, like the one match that was just like, well, at least I can go on and I can hang my hat on that to at least say that I saw a Punk match. But yeah, even that, I'm just like, all right, it's just like, this was night one. Okay, like, let's see night two, and I hope that that thing actually hits it off to just have me just go, wow. Like, give me some freaking energy from the snooze slam that was night one, the snoozing slam that was night one, sadly. But I think it's also the fact that, in all honesty, like, you can't go on and just have amazing matches within night one, because there still has to be that night two, and yeah, like, you really have to go on and kind of build it, but also, like, there isn't these ooh wow matches going on anywhere anyways anymore. In all honesty, like, we're not getting uh the curve stomp fly up into the RKO. No, we're not getting that going on within the one WrestleMania match where it's like the miraculous moves and the flashy, like, we're not even getting much of a, like, a legitimate uh like set performance, except for maybe to look at the Titantron and be like, ooh wow, that looks cool. But like, Uh, at least it looked like they were putting some kind of money into this SummerSlam thing, but just they had to have a bajillion advertisements to really just have us forget all that noise. So with that said, man, I can't wait to go on and see all of uh the just PLEs that go into these future games because I'm like, man, these PLE arenas are so effing boring that like if you are in one arena, it feels like you're in all of them. Just there's no difference whatso goddamn ever. To the point where I feel that the WWE 2K25 really has or 2K whatever's have to go on and step up their game to find some exciting arenas to put together because every one of them are all going to be the effing same, in my opinion. But hey, let's go on and say the results of all of these matchups. So, if you guys don't want to get spoiled about what all happened within these, I'm going to go on and give all of the answers to you, and then probably after that, go on and kind of give little rants about each match, and then call it a day. So, spoilers, everybody, for those of you that don't want to hear the winners and beginners and the whatevers and the blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you know. So, with that said, let's go into spoilers of it all. So, first up, we have the tag team match between Jey Uso, Roman, Breaker, and Reed. So I'm probably not going to go and state this in the exact order of every single matchup because, in all honesty, I'm just going to be like, well, whatever I go on and just kind of see here is going to be whatever I say the results are. It's just, yeah, it's just. So this tag team matchup, we end up having, in all honesty, Jey Uso does a lot of the heavy lifting in this freaking match. And when we go on and we see Roman, he does a thing here, a thing there, and we're like, ooh, ah! Because we rarely see Roman, so we should be oohing, awing away. No. If anything, I'm happy that Jay actually picked up the pin because recently I'm like, well, yeah, Jay did a lot of heavy lifting in here, and also like we saw like Breaker, I think was the more impressive thing going on because Breaker is Breaker. He's just really uh interesting to watch. I would actually like to see Reed in actually more singles competitions. In all honesty, I think he's great in singles. But like I'm watching him in this tag matchup. I'm like, where is he? Like I'm not seeing enough of him. I feel. He does tsunamis and all kind, but yeah, like, but I want to see more of Reed in like singles competition. I feel that he's much better off. I feel. So yeah, so the ones they do it, they get the match, they win. Next up, we have the female tag team matchup with Rodriguez, Perez, Bliss, and Flair here. Also, they went on and did yet another tribute to Hulk Hogan, and I'm like, okay, that's like 4 now. And I'm like, man, I think a lot of people are probably going to go on and like at some points be looking at like some of the other people who had gone on and died and be like, well, hey, like this one wrestler didn't even get a 10 bell salute, or this wrestler didn't go on and get this, and this wrestler didn't go on and get that. But like Hogan gets like a month like tribute of but like a lot of people are like, well, yeah, he deserves it, and I can completely acknowledge that, and I can completely agree with that. I'm just saying, like, where can we also go on and state that like not all of the tributes are to go on and at some points be also to be just quite even in a lot of ways as well. Uh, to state that why can't all of these wrestlers get 10 bell salutes at least? Not to say that they all need a month to have people pay tribute to them. I'm just saying that like some at least should at least get a 10-bell salute. I feel that should be right. Anyways, so but we go into this female tag team matchup, and Bliss ends up popping Charlotte, and I'm like, oh, okay, how is this going to affect the match? And it really doesn't. We go on to eventually lead to Bliss getting the pin, and they end up winning the match. And Charlotte is still like telling to Liz like, well, hey, you hurt me, and Liz apologizes, and the title is to be won here, and it's like, oh, cool, the titles have changed hands because they've kind of not really been doing anything with the titles being on the Judgment Day, but reasonably, like, the titles don't do anything with anyone, so they just exist. But at least it's some kind of tag division on the goddamn card, at least. So let's go on and let's talk about the results to the Cross Sammy match. So Sammy is to go on and have a weapon be thrown to him by Scarlett, I believe. And I immediately apologize if I question that name, just because I'm like, it's like I don't have the name in front of me. I'm not good with names, so if I said that wrong or whatever. So Sammy gets thrown this weapon, and it's like, well, is he gonna be a baby or is he gonna turn heel? And Sammy goes on and throws the weapon. I'm like, we took so much time for him holding this weapon just for him to toss the weapon. And I'm just like, okay, like, could we have teased that he was gonna? And then he was like, no. Could we have gone on and done that a little bit better? Probably. But they could have kind of built that up a little bit better to where he's like just pondering getting so close to, and then he like dropped him like, like, I'm not doing that. Or maybe we go on and we have Cross, who uses the weapon, and just be like, like, if he doesn't use it, I will. And that could have been like the way of which that all of this to go on and actually play out. But again, Cross ends up getting beaten with a boot to the face, the haluva kick, and we again go on to just call this a day. And so Sammy wins, huzzah. Like, what does this match do? Absolutely goddamn nothing. But again, get these people on the card, so thankfully that had gone on to happen. I appreciate both these guys being on the card, but this match did nothing. It stirred nothing in my loins. It did freaking nothing for me. But again, what do I know? I've never had a wrestling match in my goddamn life. Like, I am to go on and probably be overly critical and what have you. As well as also, like, I'm not a dedicated wrestler reviewer either, because I don't review every single thing. I've even gone on and reviewed No Holds Barred and Suburban Commandos and stuff that is kind of wrestling adjacent. Girl on the Third Floor, wrestling adjacent because it has Bill Brooks in it. Yeah, whatever. Well, anyways, like that matters. So, congrats, people on card. But yeah, whatever. So, Tiffy and Jade here, and so, I am honestly kind of sick of the whole like the storm is coming thing that they give with Jade, because I'm like, we get it. Like, she looks like Storm, but like this is getting really old. Like, can they go on and can they transition with anything else but that? Like, I don't really even get anymore why they end up stating that, like, this Storm is coming with her, because I'm like, yeah, she cosplayed as Storm a couple of times. Let it go. Like, why are we still going with this? It makes no sense anymore. Uh, like, I don't get why they continue to. I just don't get it. But like, whatever at this point. It's just. But yeah, but like this match was just so discombobulated, and they go outside, they go inside. Either way, this match doesn't really work, in my opinion. If anything, in all honesty, like they're to go on and tell us how long Tiffany has had this belt. And I'm like, you know what? If you would have gone on and you would have given this belt to Jade, I probably honestly would go on and to have been fine with it. But uh, recently, would I go on and want Jade to have been no. No. Like, just because we're not really sure what we're getting with Jade, and this match just kind of proves it, that we don't know what we're getting. Whereas Tiffany, it seems that for most of the time, she brings us good quality matches, whereas this, ha, so, uh, curmudgeon. I don't know what to really just say here. Um, yeah, like I wish I had more of things to have retained from this match by seeing more than it was very disjointed. Tiffany picks up the win, and I'm to go on and just be like, huzzah! Another match has happened on this card. It was also kind of fun to see Bliss winning her championship, and then she goes on and does like the over the shoulder thing that she did with her belt. I'm like, oh yeah, like I remember her doing that with the other women's titles, and it's kind of fun to see her kind of doing that there and kind of having a callback to when she had gone on and won those other women's titles, and she kind of put it over her head the way she did. Like, that makes her unique, and then also like that was just kind of be a fun callback of her going back to doing that. And I was like, yay! Uh, but also, I am to go on and, in all honesty, just kind of really miss the whole goddess gimmick going with Charlotte, because that would make a lot of more sense. But like, it's just kind of like the Stevie Richards thing. Hey, you're a blonde girl. You're a blonde girl. Tag team. That's honestly what it is. Uh, but I get it. Like, I'm sure, like, Bliss would probably go on and say, "It's like, well, hey, if I'm gonna come back, it's gonna be the Bray tribute." I'm like, all right, like that's fine. But it just feels like we're missing something at this point. Uh, in all honesty, just like this mix match tag team, just to go on and be like, whatever. Uh, doesn't make sense in my mind. Hence why it probably won't go on and make sense. They'll probably tear one another apart, and then they'll have a match together, and that'll be a thing on a card. So let's talk about the Punk Gunther match. So regardless of what everybody is probably going to say, it's like, oh well, he's a Punk fan, and like, and Punk do him no wrong, blah blah blah. Probably, I'm probably gonna go on and be very biased here, and the way in which that this match is going to end, I'm like, huzzah! But recently, also, I am to just want to just point something out. So, one, my list of starting to point things out starts here. So, uh, I really liked Gunther in this matchup. I really liked him in this match. Like, I honestly wish that Gunther would not have lost the title. That's how good he was. Regardless of how much I am a CM Punk fan, I did not want to see Gunther lose the title. I didn't. And I'm like, God dang, Gunther is so good. He's so good. He's so. If people are to think that he's overrated, I think he's underrated. If people are to think that he's underrated, I'm just be like, you're wrong too. And yeah, Gunther is so good, and this is to be a match that showcases that. Yeah, maybe he's not batting 1,000 every time he gets up to play, but god dang, like Gunther was so good in this matchup. And how we go on and we have Punk who's just kind of chopping away at Gunther, and Gunther is just taking it. And like the only problem I have is like the abdominal stretches and so many of the like submissions, the chokeholds, like too much of that was going on in this matchup. Too much of it. But like in all honesty, like I did like these classics submissions getting used, but I'm just like there was too much going on. Too much going on. As far as there was too many rest holds. So uh really within here I also am to have liked how like it didn't really seem that they were trying to go on and go into way uh too many finishers way too often. Like kind of going on and seeing the Cena versus Punk match. It feels like they were going on and having like I feel too many finishers, too many AAs, too many uh go to sleeps, too many of attempts of these things and that things. And it was kind of much more nicer that it kind of had this match kind of feel much more of a brawl. That Punk was like punching it out, and there was much more of a brawl. I feel that this match had, and I am to go on and really say that like this match was one of the more better matches, even though it was a really very basic match in my opinion of this whole entire card, because you got tag team matches and you got freaking very meh single matches for the most point. But it was good because of both Gunther and Punk being so good, in my opinion, and eventually having this match play out the way it does with Punk getting the win over Gunther here, with of course Gunther going on and doing uh the uh uh God, what is the Bret Hart submission move? The the four not the 4-leaf clover. The oh, the sharpshooter. My bad. The sharpshooter. I believe it's the sharpshooter. It also is to go on and kind of look like uh the Scorpion Deathlock. I believe it probably is the exact same move. But anyways, uh, so yeah, so the sharpshooter. So like there is some lot of there is even like Ric Flair's figure four being moved or being used. There was a woo going on in the audience as they knew that move was happening, and at some point I was kind of expecting for how they were to go on and just have tributes to Hulk Hogan on here. Like I was thinking that like somebody was gonna give like a leg drop or some goofy thing or something, but none of that happened, and I was fine with that. Uh, and also when kind of remembering the Punk versus Samoa Joe match where they had gone on and done so many like Hogan things and done all that kind of stuff in that one match, because really at that point, Punk was like, well, I'm leaving AEW anyway, so I might as well just kind of have fun in the match and just do whatever. Uh, so yeah, so uh, but I wasn't thinking that that was gonna happen. Like that was just goofy, weird crap that probably wouldn't have worked for this match. So I wasn't thinking that like all that was gonna happen. Plus, also uh, like these wrestlers are probably to on their own have their own favorites. But anyways, so Punk wins the matchup. He wins. He goes on to do two GTSs in concession. As Punk hits the first GTS, we have Gunther, who just bizarrely does like the Triple H thing, where he's just kind of just standing there, kind of like rocking back and forth. It's like, and I'm like, he's doing the Triple H thing, everybody. He's doing the Triple H. Like Triple H at one point had gone on to like get hit by something, and then he just stands there for an extended long stretch of time, and then someone goes on and hits him with something again, and then like, all right, okay. There was also one spot that Maven had gone on to say that when the two of them were, I think, wrestling together, that Triple H had gone on to just kind of stand at one point for a long stretch of time for way too long, and Maven was like, okay, what the heck is going on? But then the ref ends up saying, like, we're getting into commercial in 5, 4, and so Maven's like, oh my god. So, like, Triple H had kind of timed things just perfectly to where, um, like, when they went back to being on the telly, that, like, it felt like, and Maven was to go on and say this, that it felt like they had gone on to be wrestling for a very long time. And so, like, just wanted to throw that out there. How good Triple H um, was to go on and be, regardless of how people are to go on and say like, well, yeah, like you have to go on and probably have to look at certain eras of Triple H. I don't care. Like Triple H is good. He's really good. Probably in a lot of people's minds to probably be overrated, but I think he's underrated. But anyways, as far as in ring stuff, but anyways, we go on to have this match, and Punk wins with two GTSs back to back. And he goes on to have the belt, holds the belt. He's crying because he wins the belt. I'm like, oh, this is so good. It's so good. I'm technically getting this moment, but then again, I'm like, this moment is going on for far too long. What kind of shenanigans are going on here? I'm like this isn't right. I'm like, what's gonna happen here? How are you gonna mess up my moment? And then all of a sudden, whoa, whoa! I'm like, mother. So here's the thing. So Seth is to want to go on and, of course, not want Punk to have a world title, but Punk had won a world title. And then Seth decides to cash it in after the fact. So Seth is to go on and just be like, well, I'll die before Punk ends up winning a world title. He won a world title. So, like it's like Punk was to go on and say about that whole the Doors story where like the Doors had played the Ed Sullivan show and like Punk had just went. So yeah, so Seth comes in after the fact to face off and cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase, and I'm like, why legitimately didn't just Punk run out of the arena, run away? Like, I think that may have been technically what Punk was pretending to do, where he was kind of like looking around at the arena, just being like, oh, well, like, should I just like skin the cat here? Should I just run away and blow Seth a kiss and just being like, haha, see you next week? And maybe that'll just be the chase of it all, that Seth is to go on and every time he is to see Punk, he is to try and cash in on him. And that just kind of leads to this, if you want to call it Summer of Punk, that could have just been a much more enticing story. But instead, we go on to, of course, have Seth that is to be bashing Punk with his briefcase and pretending that he's coming out on crutches, and then he's to throw the crutches aside and be like, haha, and then he takes off his brace, and then he starts making his way down to the ring, and it's just like the HBK getting out of the wheelchair thing, and it's like, aha, what a facade. Like Triple H, well, Sean going up against Triple H, yeah, I think. Like, yeah, like Sean was just like, hey, I'm okay, and I'm gonna go against you. Like, all right, cool. So it's that all over again. So Seth goes down the ring and goes on do some like curb stomps and whatever what have you. Pins Punk, wins the title, and then the whole Rollins faction comes down to the ring. Breaker, Reed, Heyman, all celebrating Seth's victory, having him with the world title. I'm like, yeah, I guess it was kind of inevitable to like realize that Seth was going to have the world title, because at some point for like a while people were saying it's like, oh yeah, Seth is definitely going to get the title, and how are we going to get there? And then the Money in the Bank cash in happens, or Money in the Bank thing happens, and Seth's a part of it. Well, obviously he's going to win, and I'm like, okay, that's how we get there. But then Seth costing Punk this title, I'm like, well, like, so is Punk going to be a number one contender, or is Seth going to go on to other people, and maybe Punk is going to continue to ruin Seth's reign, and like that'll either get yet another grudge match between both Seth and both Punk again, or we'll go on and have forcibly Punk a number one contender just because of how like Punk is to just be like, well, hey, you stole this title from me. I want my rematch clause or something or whatever. They can just chuck out something to just be like, okay, like give Punk the reason to have this match again or whatever. At this point, I honestly don't want to see Punk and Seth again. They've done it way too many effing times at this point. Like, if you want to go on and have Gunther and Seth and uh and Punk together, I would be okay with that. Or put something else into the mix. I don't really give a crap. If you're honestly probably thinking about it, there's probably going to be shenanigans going on with Seth's faction anyways to keep the title uh on Seth, so reasonably, like, the matches that are to follow are probably not to matter frickin' anyways. If there is to be a match between both Punk and Seth, there's going to be shenanigans, so it's going to be stupid. Unless there's to be some kind of cage match or some kind of something that is to go on and not have the faction make their way into this matchup to ruin the results and not have a clean win. Yeah, like I am to just go on and just be like, well, like, huzzah, Seth has the title, but we don't know how much percentage of how really like how well Seth is. But then again, I probably didn't watch the post show and see if Seth has an interview or whatever where he's has said that he's 100% or whatever. But like, at least with Punk, we would have had a champion that is 100%, whereas Seth, we don't know. And also, like, I get the poetic justice of Seth winning this title, and it makes a lot of sense for him to go on and cash in on Punk to win this title away from him. Good long term booking, good story writing here. It's just like, where do we go with this that is to go on and not have me groan about the future of what is to happen within these events? Is what is to truly transpire in my brain here. But if anything, on to night two. I'm going to try to get out of here because I'd already gone on and done a review of a movie that took 2 hours and change. So I want to go on and definitely make this review a lot shorter. But also, I feel that I've gone on to give my most of my thoughts about this, and then also, what do I know? I'm not going through move for move. I'm not a specialist of any kind. I just am giving my opinion about what I thought about these things, and in that way, I'm kind of doing it in a very just flattened way. So I can understand if people aren't to go on and be like running their way to these kind of reviews, just because, in all honesty, like I have to go on and say, hey, I saw a thing, so I thought I would go on and review it. That's what I just thought I would do. So with that said, I'm gonna go on and watch Night 2 tomorrow. Because I'm just really gonna go on and get things ahead of the game here. But like, also, like in my opinion, I've already done 2 videos in one day, so like, I'll save Night 2 for tomorrow, and then I'll just get that done. And so with that said, I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate anybody going on and watching a review like this, and hopefully Night 2 is going to be way more interesting, exciting, and whatever. I also don't like the fact that we end up having people win the King and Queen of the Ring, and it's to seemingly be a forgotten thing. Like, we took so much time to have that whole tournament for the King of the Ring, and like neither one of these people wearing crowns really. There's to go on and have them not have like ring gear that says queens or have crowns and nothing. Like, how many times have we gone on to have so many people win those king and queen crown things, and they are freaking legitimately awesome? Like Xavier Woods, that thing that he was doing with the crown, like, god dang, he honestly deserved a title after that for what he had gone on and done with that crown. Uh, but yeah, also like Vega, great stuff with what she was doing with that, and so uh, and I'm sure there's probably a lot of people who are to go on and probably mention any king or queen in the ring and whatever have you, and just be like, well, hey, like Xavier and Vega are the last ones you're gonna go on and talk about that. I'm like, yeah. But anyways, so hopefully to go on and uh like end up getting to see a whole entire tag division on night 2 of SummerSlam, because I know that currently the White Six have the titles and are to be defending them in like the whole entire locker room of a tag matchup, and so at least that'll be fun. I hope that's the best match in that whole entire thing. I hope it steals the show, because god dang it, how very rare does it seem that we have tag champs on PLEs. Uh, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about the Rhodes Cena matchup, because I'm like, this is a rematch. Like, I guess we really don't have much of contenders for Cena right now. But like when thinking about it, like John Cena has only so many matches left into him, but we're just kind of having him kind of just wrestle the same people over and over again. This is stupid. Uh, we really should go on and be giving Cena like all of his matches should go on and all be dream matchups and whatever have you. But like, I guess that is just to be what it's going to end up being. Uh, on that, whatever is to be left on that card, uh, we again have just Lyra and Becky Lynch on a goddamn card, but they're saying it's like, oh, well, it's a no holds barred, no disqualifications, whatever specialty match. I'm like, whatever. Just throw all the bells and whistles on the match. It's still not going to get me really anything more, but to just go on and probably say that it's going to be a bathroom break, and I hope I'm wrong. But god dang it, if it's to not just be like, man, this is the best match of this whole entire night, then like, what did they try to accomplish here? Because they've done this far too often. It's a freaking rematch bonanza. We have 2 nights of SummerSlam for what goddamn reason but to just put in rematches and to just go to the same freaking well of like just a lot of mid matches. Like we get 2 nights of a lot of mid. So freaking I don't know anymore. Like I don't like I'm just like blah at this whole endeavor. So with that said, I'm just gonna get the heck out of here. Because what the am I saying anymore? Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for watching this. Thank you for taking the time, as well as also realizing that I have to turn around and do night 2 of SummerSlam fairly soon. And by that time, probably a lot of people probably won't care, or I'll be surprised if people do care. Um, about a thing like this, because surprisingly, like Evolution, like a lot of people viewed that, and I was like, okay, great. That goes on and helps out the channel regardless of how many realistic people actually watched any real legit minutes of those. But whatever, like I'm just be grateful for the views and the people who are deciding to subscribe to this channel and be a part of it, because for how very casual I am to go on and do these videos, but then also do 2 videos in one day. I've really gone on and really done a Herculean task here. But anyways, goodbye everybody. Goodbye everybody.